hey everyone, welcome back to Heidi's Garage. We had a great weekend of snowmobiling. We made like 150 miles, and I totaled my skid. It is like, completely trashed, the entire thing in the back. It ripped out my bogey wheels in the back. It completely destroyed the axle, ripped the end off, it's supposed to look like that end, and totally twisted up my entire rails here. So I think the tractor's still good on it and stuff like that. So I already pulled this skid out of my sled, which is in the background here. And I picked up another sled today. That's a part sled, and we are going to take the skid out of that one. So I'm going to show you guys how the skid comes out and how to take the track off of M series sled. The one I picked up is an M8, so it's not quite the same as my M7, but it's going to fit up and it's going to be a little bit lighter than what the M7 skid is like. So let's get started on that over there. Okay, so we are going to pull this whole skid assembly off of this snowmobile here. So it's really just 4 bolts that hold it on, and we should be able to get the whole skid out. It's going to be this bolt here, this bolt here, this bolt here, and this bolt here. And then we'll drop the whole skid assembly out, and we will probably loosen this and slide those bogies up so that we can remove it without being so tight. So we're gonna go do that, and then we'll probably pull this track off too. Alright, so as you can see, we have the skid out now. I found the best way of doing this is to hang it from the ceiling. So I have the back of the sled hanging from the ceiling right now. Gives you room to be able to move the track around, get the skid out from the track, and then we can work on getting the track out. It was just the 4 bolts, and I'll show you what those were. So now we can take the track out. We gotta remove the cog and stuff like that, so we can get the track out and we can get on the other sled. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Okay, so these are the bolts that come out of your sled. These are the 2 front ones. These are the 2 rear ones. The front ones have 2 washers on them, and the bigger, thicker washer goes on the inside, and the thinner one goes on the outside on both of these. These are 14 millimeters, and they are 14 millimeter nuts on the inside, so you use like an impact or something, and an open-end wrench to hold them. These are also 14, and these will just come right on out. They're just threaded right into the skid. So like I said before, this is the location of the front ones. These are the ones that have the nuts on them. They're pretty easy to get to. You pretty much just stick your hand underneath, hold your open-end wrench, and impact them out. And this is the location of the rear ones, and they just thread right through here and into the skid, so you can just impact them out. They're super easy. So as you can see here, this is the old M7 skid. It is very, very mangled. It took a lot of torque from that track when it came around and came all apart. They said it broke the entire end off of this axle that's in the back. It's supposed to have the screw or the bolt in it and the washers, but just snapped the whole thing off. I could not find that piece on the trail. I'm not sure where it went. I did get all my bogies that came off. So all these wheels are trashed. They all pretty much took a beating. The skid, the rails, the high effects, everything's gone. It bent all of this linkage back here, all the steel linkage, bent a bunch of different things, bent this. So the skid's pretty much totaled. I can have some good parts off of it. And it's got the good Fox shocks on it. So I have a few parts that I can salvage, but yeah, it pretty much totaled it. So if that ever happens to you guys, I don't know if it's ever happened to anybody. This is the first time I've seen it happen. But yeah, that's what happens when your bogey comes off and your track grabs your rail. Alright, so this is the new skid. It's got a little bit thicker rails on it. This one's actually from an 08 M8 snowmobile. So I actually have a M8 skid on my sled, so this will bolt right into it. I think they're pretty similar with the M7s. I'm not for sure, so don't quote me on that. But we're going to make this one fit on my sled. It is a lot lighter than the M7 skid. It doesn't have all the springs and stuff like that here, like this one does. There's all the springs. This one does that. It just has a single shock and this stabilizing post. I am going to replace some bearings, some bushings, and some wheels on this one. So this broken here. I have a machine shop make some reinforcement plates for up here, and then probably some for back in here, and then make up my own assembly back here for tightening and loosening a track. All in all, it's actually in pretty good condition. These wheels all spin nice. Back here, these ones do. All the shocks are good. They're not leaking anything. This one, I bled all the air out just to see how bad it was, and it's great. So we're just gonna go through. I'll show you guys how to do bushings and stuff on this. So if you're ever needing to. We're also gonna paint this white, not like half orange, half white. So it'll look really good on the sled. And we're gonna readjust everything to be perfect. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do on this skid. So if you guys are thinking about putting an M8 skid on your M7, follow along. We're going to find out how to do it and if there's anything that we need to modify significantly. Okay, so the first step is going to be taking off our side panels here. So we have both this side panel and this side panel, so we got to remove those. Now we can access everything on the sides. I like the M series because they have the removable side panels. And the Crossriders had removable side panels, unlike the F series where they don't. Makes it a lot easier to get to, like, even on trailer clutches or your brake if you're having an issue. So these are great. Awesome idea. Okay, so on these sleds, unlike the M7s, the bolt that holds on the diamond drive to everything else is way in the center of the shaft. So you have a really long extension to reach it. And then you should be able to just impact it out or wrench it out, whichever works best for you. So we can just take this out, and then we can remove the diamond drive on the other side. Kind of shiny there. I don't know if you guys can quite see the bolt head. Okay, so it's a 16mm that goes in there. Make sure you have lots of extensions like this to fit in there. And I'll just send it in, find it, and lock it in. Okay, so over here on the diamond drive side, we have to take off these. So these are nuts on studs. So there's one here, 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 and here. So there should be about 8 of them. This is the diamond drive with reverse. So this one has this big like motor up here. You can see it's got this like giant motor and servo and all sorts of things. So we're gonna take this off. It should just slide out. It might need a little bit of help coming out. Hopefully the bolt's all the way off on the other side. If not, we're gonna have to move it some more. So this is why this sled got totaled. Is it's all cracked down here. So it's cracked all the way up here. Somebody tried to weld it, but obviously that didn't work very good. So they hit something pretty good. Okay, so we took the nuts off all the studs. We should be able to just slide this out. We do have this motor up here that we gotta kind of finagle around to get out. But we should be able to just pull it, sort of like this. Should be able to get it out, unless it's attached up here. Yeah, okay. So there is one more bolt up here underneath the motor that we need to pull out. Okay, so you unbolt that and the motor actually slides out, so you gotta just kind of wiggle it around. Just set it off to this. There we go. Okay, so now the motor's out. So this is what one of the most, this is Simmons motor. Yeah, Simmons motor. It's basically like the motor that you use to roll your window up and down. Just a motor with a worm gear drive on it. Pretty simple. Alright, so we turn the bolt out the rest of the way on the other side. Now we just gotta probably kind of this down around here, because this bolt hits it. And we should be able to get it to come out. Push that metal down. Okay, so there's the bolt that holds this on, so we were able to get that out. Now we should be able to just push all of this stuff down and get it up and over. There we go. So there is a diamond drive out of a 2008 M8 with reverse. This is your reverse shifter right there. This one's in pretty good condition. feels pretty good. This one's a lot heavier than the M7s without reverse. Now we can see our cog and our track shaft and stuff like that. So we should be able to loosen up the other side enough that we can twist it around and get it out. Alright, so we are going to take these nuts off right here that go around this. I think there are 13, that's what I felt like fit in there. So we're going to take these, I think there's 4 of them that go around here. Okay, as you can see now, we have the cog really tipped at an angle. Up here, it's the brake rotor and caliper sticking out like this. Now we have it tipped like this. We should be able to slide the track like this and out the side, because it's having such an angle, and get the track out without having to get like one of those track nut tools and actually getting this cog off. So that's what we're going to do next. We're going to try to slip it over on the side and pull it out. Alright, now that we were able to move the brake and stuff a little more, now we're able to get the track out. And we'll do this. Maneuver it around here to get the track out. So there's the track. That's how that is. The track's in really good condition. I mean, it's used, but it's in good condition, so